Oh, thank you very much. Thanks for your time today. Everyone, thanks for listening and participating in this event. It's great for us to be part of it as well. And we're excited to give you an overview of our Logitech portfolio for business. And as we all know, circumstances have completely changed over the last few years around, especially where work happens and how it gets done. And to see this and we see this as an invitation to start something new. And so we're inviting you as well to join us in defying yesterday's logic and embracing the new logic of work. Um, so that's kind of how we're kind of structuring much of what we're doing with Logitech right now. And at Logitech, we're on a mission to enable people and organizations to work and create effectively from anywhere. And recently, we had some segments inside of our business where video conferencing and our classic core were kind of separated, and recently we brought both of those things together. So we're working as one Logitech, and so as you see from us as in the future, we're going to be showing how we can use Logitech and our stuff to work wherever you're working. Because I think a buzzword over the last few years is work is no longer where you go, it's what you do. And that's we're really embracing that model, whether it's at home, in the office, or on the go. And then we also need to provide the hardware for you, but also provide the ability for our clients to manage that hardware and do it at scale. So we're focusing a lot on that, and it means providing tools and experiences that are tailored to different people and roles in an organization. We know from research and personal experience that seeing someone's eyes, their expression, the way they speak, their gestures is a very fundamental human behavior that helps us develop trusted, authentic relationships and foster a sense of belonging, even with folks that have never met in person. It's amazing how many people I feel I know at my current company and previous companies that I have never physically met, and I've only talked to over video. And that's because video is very human and super technology for remote work. So we also know that every knowledge worker is different. If you take an executive, a developer, an analyst, or someone that works in engineering, for instance, and spend time with them, and observe them, you understand their pain points, and they're all slightly different. Even though there's some commonalities, you'll find that each of them has particular needs around workflow, ergonomics, aesthetics, and other preferences. So ultimately, we all have something in common, which is the desire to create, build, impress, and succeed. That's kind of what drives our world nowadays. The times of one size fits all is over. That's why our products are designed to respect individualities, boost confidence, and keep employees connected every day from everywhere. And it really doesn't matter where work takes place anymore. From home to the office, private to shared spaces, we provide solutions for positive and seamless employee experiences across routines. So, we have taken our 40-year experience to develop a comprehensive portfolio for business that deeply understands people, from our Brio line, from our mice, keyboards, from our Logidock, our Rally systems, and our Rally bars. Whether you're at home, in the office, or somewhere in between, we can supply you with high quality devices that will support what you're doing. That increased performance, comfort, and help will help everyone be at their best. So our portfolio is designed for scale, and I kind of want to take you back just a few years ago. As Logitech entered the video conferencing world, we did it with the same DNA that we brought to our wireless mice and keyboards. And you might remember our Meetup, our Rally, and Rally Plus. This was our main line just 2 years ago. And over the last 2 years, we have put a lot of development time, and so we've developed a whole new line to add to our older line. So our Rally Bar Mini, and we have our center of that, but we've also added a new UC engine, a new a new way of connecting our classic tap controller, a scheduler, scribe. But we've also developed in the personal spaces with our Zone True Wireless, and then our Logitech, which both were released in the last year. Very, very strong in all that, and we're growing that out. So basically, our room portfolio has gone all the way out there, but we've also done that with an increase of technology, and I'll talk a little bit about more of that, of how we interact and actually be able to see, as I've talked earlier about, see other people's eyes and their gestures, and actually have that similar experience that we've been experiencing on video for the last 2 years when we're at home. Bring that into the office so that we can see everyone, whether they're in a room, at a desk, or at home. We've also we have a whole line of a management platform that can manage our whole enterprise grade line, from our personal devices up to our room systems. So, but we also have. I was talking a little bit about some of the things that we're doing to kind of provide meeting equity, and that's taking that experience more like at the top, where we're not used to the experience at the bottom anymore. We more want to see individuals. So I want to share this video with you real quick. It's a short one, and then continue on. So, I do have to select. I forgot in Zoom. Let me stop sharing and reshare, because I believe I did not select audio. So if I want to do that, I better do it right. I'm an engineer. You'd think I'd know it right out of the gate, but even I miss it sometimes. Okay. All right. So yeah, that's our new. We just announced it on October 5th. It's called Logitech Sight. What it is, it's an add-on camera to our Rally Bar. So don't think of this as a standalone device. And we've announced it for next year, actually. So this won't be available for purchase until probably next summer. But we want to get it out there now, because there's a lot of work to do, and a lot of important things that we want people to know that we're coming out with this. And what we're doing is there's an interesting problem. We all know speaker tracking and group framing have been around for quite some time, and many devices with it, and those are great technologies, but they are limiting, because there's only one camera. It's always from the front of the room. So eventually the laws of physics come in, and if someone's in front of you, or if someone's in a bad angle, there's nothing that a speaker tracking camera can do if that person's in a bad angle. And what this does is kind of simulate what the 360-degree cameras were trying to solve. But when the 360-degree cameras came in, they kind of created a new problem. So now they have the 360-degree view, and with that brings a little distortion, because you're trying to turn a 360-degree view into a straight view, and also you still have bad angles. So what we've done is we've built our Sight, and we're going to give you kind of the best of both worlds. Now, this is not a 360-degree camera. It's a 15-degree camera. So there'll be a spot where the rally bar covers that this will not. But this will give us a place to be able to get a different angle. And when the AI inside determines that the best angle is from the sight, it'll change to the sight. When it determines it's the best angle from the rally bar, it'll use the rally bar. There's mics built into this, so I don't even have to have an extra mic out there. I can daisy chain if I need additional mics, our old mics right off of it. And so this is what we announced on October 5th. It's very new and innovative coming from Logitech, leaning into that idea of meeting equity. And so this is kind of how it will look in a room. Just a simple little thing, but again, not available till July ish. I'll just say next summer. So sometime next summer. Hopefully sooner, but sometime next summer. Now with that, I want to highlight, because I've talked a little bit more about room systems, but we have a full line of new products and from headsets and webcams, and we've just recently released our new Brio 505. One of the coolest things the Brio 505 has in it is what's called the Show Me mode, and what it has a gyroscope in it. And so instead of having a separate document camera, you can use the Brio 505, and it's got a stand that has a hinge in it, so you can tip it up and show your desktop, and it'll flip the desktop in the correct way, because that gyroscope recognizes what direction it needs to be. And you can draw outlines, and you can do everything else, and you can share that right there. So that's a really cool thing, and it fits really well into our Logi Dock and our other personal devices. Now, all of these personal and hybrid working devices and classic working devices can be managed through our platform called Sync. So we're able to provide device management at scale. So all of our enterprise grade webcams and our docking station and our headsets can be managed along with our room systems. And so we can manage them. We can push firmware updates out to it. We can add the ability, if we want to get deep insights and analytics. So this can really expand out and make it easy for not just end users to use our stuff, because Logitech, we know, is really cool, but also for the IT departments to actually manage it and keep them up and going and working. Now, in the future, our mice and keyboards will also be rolling under that management structure, and that's just not here yet. So more to come on that. We also have added a new level of service to all this, which is a great add-on to everything that we do. So we have a 2-year warranty that's come standard on most of our products. But what our Select service does is give you things like 24/7 enterprise grade support. If you have over 50 rooms in your in your deployment, then you can actually get a dedicated success manager, someone you can call, and they'll handle things inside with you. Product replacement, like 24-hour product replacement, on-site spares. There's a lot of cool things with our services that we're doing as well, and that can round out our entire portfolio. And so with that, our goal is to make a very consistent experience across all peoples, all spaces, and be able to scale that globally. And we're able to do that with providing ease of use for both for all the people who are using it, the people who are deploying it, and the people who are managing it. And with that, that's kind of what I've got. Are we taking questions? Is there any questions?
There are questions.
Awesome.
So, yes, we were just waiting for you to open that up. Can you speak on the difference between optical and digital cameras?
Yes,
and
absolutely.
What products does Logitech offer with each of these camera types?
Great question. That's a great. So let's in all of our webcams, the zoom in a webcam will be digital zoom, right? If you're getting any changes, and you can make those changes on our webcam within the software that we provide. It's a Sync client. So all of our webcams are a digital zoom, and I'll talk the difference between that in a minute. But and in our huddle room space devices, our Meetup and our Rally bar mini camera, those are also all digital zoom in there. They're 4K sensors with an all digital zoom. But when you get up into our larger room solutions, our Rally Bar and our classic Rally Plus and Rally systems, those are a mix of optical and digital. So 5x optical and 3x digital. And with the use of both of those cameras can give you a 15x zoom. Now, here's the difference. So digital zoom is basically taking everything it sees, and then you're actually can take a section of it and you're actually able to blow it up. So it's just like taking a picture. If you had a picture that was, a 1080p and you wanted to go in farther, as you blow it up, you're actually reducing resolution. That's just natural within inside a digital zoom. So what you need to make sure you do is have a high resolution above what the output might be. So for instance, Teams and Zoom on a good day in the right scenario might give you 720p. Maybe you'll get 1080p, right? And our Rally Bar and Meetup are both 4K sensors. So we're able to do a lot of digital zooming without reducing resolution within that. Same thing with Rally Bar. We only give you a 3x zoom on the Rally Bar. And again, that gives you that ability to zoom in digital without reducing resolution. And then the rest of it in the large Rally Bar is optical. And that's just like if you had a camera, like, and you change the focal length of that camera. So you're actually using the lenses to adjust it. So you're not reducing any resolution there as well. And that's the main differences. So the Rally Bar, the Rally Plus system, the Rally camera as a standalone, those are all mix of optical and digital. The Rally Bar Mini and all of our webcams are all digital. Next one. Anything else?
Oh, yes. How does this connect to the Rally Bar Mini? Is it via the proprietary USB strong cables?
Nope. It's actually it's using our mic. The connection is you're talking about sight, I'm assuming. So the sight camera that we have will be connected through our mic port, actually. So where we classically connect our mic cable, we're going to connect through there. And what we're going to be able to do is we have a little dongle that converts Cat6 to our mic port. And so you'll be able to run Cat6 from that site to a little dongle, which will then plug into the mic port of the Rally Bar. And that's how they're going to. They're also, by the way, going to need PoE. So there's going to be 2 ports on the bottom. One will run back, as I just said, and the other one will need to run to a PoE injector so that you can get power, because it's going to need its own power.
Awesome. Do you have any partnerships with third-party interactive flat panels working in combination with your room controls?
We don't have partnerships, but I mean, many of them do work with us, but we don't have any that we test or certify or anything else with our stuff. But good question.
Can you please speak about appliance versus USB mode and the tap and any other devices? And that's such a great question, by the way.
That's a long answer, but I'll try to get it quick. And
that's
then
okay. We've actually got plenty of time.
Okay, good. Okay. Then if so the difference between appliance mode and USB mode. So one of the nice things about especially our Rally Bar solution is it has the ability to work in 3 different modes. I mentioned earlier that our classic devices, our Meetup and Rally system, were how we got into the market. Now, those devices were either a BYOD, strictly, USB peripheral, or you connected it to a dedicated in-room Teams PC or Zoom PC, a Microsoft Teams room in Windows or Zoom or other, right? And it's a dedicated PC. So, or you deployed them for what's called BYOD, and those were the only 2 modes they worked in. But with the Rally Bars, which we've been selling, and it's kind of become the workhorse of our solution now, the Rally Bars can actually work in 3 modes. So we still have the BYOD mode that it can work in, and all that's really doing is you can turn a big Rally Bar with that 15x camera into the most expensive webcam you probably would use. In other words, you can bring your laptop in the room, plug it into that laptop, and use that Rally Bar as the camera, mic, speaker, and speakers on your device, your laptop. But that same USB cable can be used to deploy it in the classic Windows-based room system mode, right? Where you put a Windows-based room system, a tap controller, which I'll get to in a minute, and then you'll connect it directly to that Windows-based room system. So that's another mode it can work in. But the Rally Bar has the unique ability, compared to our older devices, to also be a standalone device. So it's got an onboard operating system that has a lot of cool things. So it gives you native like group framing, speaker tracking, light adjustment, sound, noise reduction, things like that. That's all native to our CollabOS software that we built into the brains of the Rally Bar. But beyond that, it can also run the Android versions of Microsoft Teams or Zoom. So it can be a complete standalone MTROA or Microsoft Teams room over Android, as well as provide all that. So it doesn't need a dedicated PC. And in that mode, the USB cable that's hanging off it can still work as a BYOD, which means you can deploy it as a Microsoft Teams room, and then I can bring my laptop in, plug that USB cable into my laptop, and it'll still take over and do that. So it's got some cool flexibility with that. Now, if you ever read on Logitech, the difference between appliance mode and USB mode is what we usually call it, and BYOD mode is appliance mode is when we're running the Android version of something like Teams or Zoom on our CollabOS firmware that we built, and we're not connecting it to something else. The USB mode is when we connect it to an in-room UC engine that's usually Windows-based, but it also could be Google, because we do Google as well. And then you're going to run that in-room UC engine and go that route. So does that answer that question?
It sure does.
Cover it all? Okay.
Another question: are the cameras on the site fixed?
They are fixed. Yep. So when the site comes out, there will be some mounting options. So the idea is to mount it so they're always in the same, so it's not moving around. So there's going to be a tripod mounting option, but that's more for like kind of flexible spaces, or kind of if you have a U shape. It's not going to be the typical mounting option. The one we prefer will mean you should drill a hole in your table, but not everyone wants to do that, and that will make it permanently in the same place. And that's what we like it, because then we know it's always in that same space. But we do provide, for those who do not want to drill a hole, a mounting option that can sit on top of the table and gives you a great stability. And it even has micro suction on the bottom, which means it can stick to the table, but it's not going to leave like adhesive on it. It's not going to be permanent. You can pull it off. So those mounting options will be required, because you'll always want it to be in the same spot, because as opposed to a 360-degree camera, it's a 315-degree camera, but it's really not stitching the views together. It's literally has basically two digital cameras with a wide view on both of them that overlap. And so what it's really doing is giving you two additional cameras that it's looking for the best possible angle to capture whoever's speaking. And then we're also going to be able to use it with our new, which I didn't mention in this, our new grid view, which we can talk more about another time. And then we'll be able to use multi-stream cameras if the platform supports that, multi streams within Teams or Zoom or whatever platform, and it'll depend on when those platforms support multi-streams. So
excellent, thank you. How do I get a success manager assigned to my company?
You have to purchase Select, and you'll need and you'll have to purchase it for at least 50 of your rooms. So it's going to be at least 50 of them. Now, truthfully, I'm an engineer, so I don't spend a ton of time giving you the details of Select. So if you want the deeper understanding of Select, please reach out to your account manager.
Will the Scribe be part of this new ecosystem?
Scribe is part of the new ecosystem, and I probably should have mentioned it in my solution today. I did show it a few times, but Scribe is a great add-on to all of our options here. The only one that it currently is not done on is in Microsoft Team in appliance mode, and that's because Microsoft has yet to enable document cameras. And Scribe is considered to the UC engine as a document camera. But in any platform, that includes Windows-based Teams Room and others that allow document cameras, the scribe can be utilized. And what it does is it solves mainly one problem, and that's if you have a whiteboard in a room with video, someone's going to get up and write on it, and the far side is going to have a hard time seeing it, because we've all experienced that, right? And the classic way of doing it was we point the camera at the person writing on it, but there's a lot of problems with that, from glare to the person being in the way of it, to poor angles, to all that. So what we do is give you a high quality camera that puts everything on up to a 4x6 whiteboard and provides a really good view of it, but it also enhances the coloring, enhances the lines, and it actually will remove the person writing on the whiteboard either completely out, or you can turn them into a ghost so you can see what they're writing but still see what they're referencing. It's a very important part of our portfolio. So yes.
Great, thanks for that. Can the site cameras auto frame?
Yes, they will be able to auto frame. Now, much of the functionality, there might be some limited functionality on release. So stay tuned as we get closer to actual release and what that might look like. But yes, that they're designed to auto frame. Exactly. That's exactly what they're designed to do.
Can you talk about Logitech's take on whether on what happens when a client needs to switch from Zoom to Teams using a Logitech ecosystem?
Well, it depends on what you mean by switch from Zoom to Teams. Now, if you're talking about switching from being on one call and then move to
yes, that's the question. Is not necessarily a full migration, but rather a sort of moving from one platform to another day by day.
They both have different ways of doing it. So, but I will talk about the one where, hey, I have a dedicated Teams room. I want to be on a dedicated Teams room, and there's a lot of reasons why I'm that, or a dedicated Zoom room, or Google, or whatever my choice is. The reason I choose those UC engines is because it creates consistency and ease of use for my clients, but then I'm my customers and those who are using it. But the reason people struggle with it is, what if I need to do something else, right? So there's a few layers of this. So the first layer is within Teams and Zoom especially, you can actually set up what's called direct guest join. That's done at the platform level. You'll reach out to Zoom and Teams to find out how to do that, and then you'll be able to join a meeting that from, let's say I have a dedicated Teams room and I receive a Zoom meeting. I will be able to join that meeting with some limitations. Now, I'll only get a single screen and I will not be able to share content into the meeting, but I will be able to join that meeting. That's an important new feature. And I mean, it's been around for a while, but it's an important feature because it gives me that single click to join experience of being able to join another meeting. And if I still want to share content into that meeting, then I can join that meeting as well from my laptop and just make sure audio and video are off. And then I can share content in that way. That is direct guest join. That's the simplest way, but not everyone loves that. Some people, there's a few reasons they don't like that. And some of it is the limitations it has, but also it could be because they're limited the number of platforms they can do. You can do with direct guest join from Teams, you can do Zoom and WebEx. From Zoom, you can do Teams and WebEx, right? And WebEx in return if you have those, but Logitech doesn't do WebEx. So I don't really talk about that. But those all three will work. But what if I need to do GoToMeeting or RingCentral or something else, right? So that's one of the benefits of using our Logitech switch. And the Logitech switch is an add-on to our rally bars or our classic systems that we can actually allow you to hijack the technology in the room. So it's got a Y cable. That Y cable has both a USB-A and a USB-C port. And then we're actually switching the HDMI and USB technologies that are connecting our PCs and our rally bars and our displays, and we're swapping sources so that those flow to the laptop, and then now I'm able to join any meeting the laptop can do. So it's just using the desktop versions on my laptop, but I'm utilizing the technology in the room. So my screen goes up onto the main screen. The camera mic and speakers in the room become the camera mic and speakers for my laptop. And that's a great way to do it as well. Now, there's some limitations with that as well, because your deployment must have, everyone who wants to use it must have a laptop to do it. So there's some different things to consider. So there's just different ways to look at it. If you want to dig in your solution, reach out to your Lightworks rep, and I'm happy to join and help you.